How's everybody doing today? We're going to do a fun little live stream today. We're just going to make games. Specifically, we're going to be working on a game called Twisted Tower, which Twisted Tower is, this creepy Willy Wonka meets BioShock. That's kind of how it feels. I'll show it to you in a minute here. I wanted to say a huge welcome to Tristan DeWorth, right? Hey, Tristan, congratulations. Joseph, David, Heath, Anna, Jason, Brian, welcome to the YouTube Game Dev course. And by the way, guys, YouTube Game Dev has 18 hours left, and this is for real, okay? It's not a fake timer, okay? It's for real. 18 hours left to join YouTube Game Dev, which teaches you how to make a full-time income with YouTube. Thomas, why would you tell us how to do this? What do you know? Well, actually, this is one of the 3 ways that I make a full-time income. In fact, I make full-time incomes from each of the things that I do. So YouTube, game development, working with publishers. In the past, it was Kickstarter. Sometimes it was working with sponsors. I know all the different ways to make money as a game developer, and I teach you guys how to do it. And yes, this is one way, right? Because I sponsor my own videos with my own products. And so this does support the channel, which means a lot. But by the way, if you're a student with YouTube Game Dev, let me know in the chat what you think about the program. 18 hours left, 40% off. Check it out below. You're going to learn from me, but also you're going to learn from some mega YouTubers like Jonas Tyroller, Blackthorn Prod, 2-Star Games, and Andreas at Bracky. So be sure to check it out below. And I will see you guys inside of Unity on the other side. By the way, guys, feel free to download my free 2D game kit below. It's totally free. It's my treat to you. I used this exact 2D game kit to make a game for PewDiePie in 14 days, and then I got to play it in front of his subscribers, which was really awesome. So download that. Use it however you want. It's my treat to you. Yeah. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how's everybody doing today? Come on in, come on in. All right, so we've got our final logo created. Now, there are 2 kinds of logos. And by the way, what we're going to be working on today is bringing in the new logo design into the main menu, into the pause menu. And we're also going to make this pause menu feel and look amazing. Believe it or not, UI can... I'm going to kind of go out on a limb here, and it can maybe add 30 to 40% value to your game. If you have really good UI and it's punchy and it's clicky and it's fun, and it also fits the visual theme of your game and reinforces the visual theme that maybe you couldn't afford, then yeah, it's really worth it, and it can add 30% value to your game. Okay, so here is the new logo. And all this really is, guys, is it's just text arched up. And I've gone in and I used a bevel filter in the Photoshop filters. But I did also add a bunch of very subtle painting to it. You can see it's very detailed here with the kinds of shines and crisp lines. These are especially valuable. Hard black here and hard white here. So, and who's behind the logo? That's Charlotte. That's Miss Charlotte, and she is one of the main characters in the game, and we'll learn all about Miss Charlotte when we play the game. So Photoshop is frozen. Hang on tight, guys. Goodness me, Photoshop's frozen. Okay, let's open up Unity here, and we're going to enter play mode because I want to show you guys where we're going to be putting this new logo. We're also going to use new fonts as well. We're not using Bebas anymore. Bebas is a font that, BioShock uses it, and that's why we kind of used it to begin with. But now instead, we want to use a font called Michelle, okay? So you can see Michelle is being used here. No, that's actually Garamond. I believe Michelle is being used here, okay? So we're going to use Michelle for the text in the main menu, okay? Or the pause menu. Here's the pause menu. You can see it's kind of iffy in its design. It works great, but it's not very pretty, okay? So the first thing I want to do is we're going to take a screenshot because we're going to work solely in Photoshop here, okay? A big tip that I have for all of you is when you're working with UI, don't put the cart before the horse. And this is coming from somebody with personal experience, always doing this because I feel like, well, it'll just be faster if I just make the design while I'm making the code, right? Instead, what I want to do is just go into Photoshop and have all the freedom I need in Photoshop to make it look gorgeous. And then I can bring that final gorgeous design because I'm gonna definitely iterate and make changes. I'm gonna bring that final design into the pause menu, okay? And we did the same thing here with our health bar and our ammo, okay? Same exact thing. This all started in Photoshop. I tweaked and tweaked and tweaked for hours. I think it was probably 8 hours before I finalized the UI for the pause menu or the actual game HUD. Okay? All right, so we've got that screenshot taken. Let's open up Photoshop. Hopefully it's so slow. Okay, let's open up a 3840 by 2160 canvas. Who could tell me what that is? 3840 by 2160 canvas. Thomas Brush, I was doubtful of the weapon menu, but now in-game that is amazing. Yes, and you guys can thank yourself for that. One of you, I always forget your name. One of you came up with the cards design, and it's really cool. So I'm really, really grateful for you guys helping me out with that. I think about you guys all the time. Seriously, I think about how grateful I am that you guys always show up during live streams. And I'll be completely honest with you guys. One of my fears is actually you all stop showing up for some reason because you think I'm not a good person, or you don't like what I do, or you think I'm fake. So every time you guys show up, it really, really means a lot to me. All right. Yeah, Sean, it's 4K. That's right. We're in 4K now. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up that logo. This is just a screenshot, and it helps us know just generally the size. And also we have this UI here. So we're going to go ahead and this is just a mock-up, but we're going to do it in 3840 by 2160 because we can take the graphics from the mock-up and use them in our final design. Okay, so that is sort of a shortcut. Instead of doing like a really low resolution sketch of your UI, make it big enough because you might actually finalize a lot of it and just bring it into your UI documents. So let's go to our logo here. All right. Thomas, what's the progress of the game? I think we're probably at 75%. Yeah, we've done a lot of work here. I'm going to go ahead and merge all these together in the background. It's just such a massive document here. What's crazy, guys, this logo here, it has like maybe 30 smart objects embedded inside of it of just constantly iterating off of smart objects. But the cool thing is here is that if I take this smart object here, if I fill it in over top, you'll see there's a glow. If we go inside of it, we can turn that glow off. It's a drop shadow, actually. Excuse me. I'm over here burping. And you can see that it looks, this is a core tenet of logo design. So for those of you who are curious, a logo should look great in a single flat color. I should be able to print Twisted Tower, just like this logo here is a single color, and it's probably screen printed. This is definitely screen printed. It's screen printed in one color across your shirt, okay? So think about the use case of your logo. It's not always going to be inside the game. It might be on stickers, right? It might be on t-shirts. And so you want to make sure that your logo works with a single color like this, okay? And I'm actually probably going to use, we'll see, but I'm probably going to end up using this logo in a single color, but we'll see. But it's also a smart object, so I can drag it down like this. And the truth is I may very well have it smack dab in the center, actually. And then we're going to have our continue text, and it's going to be Michelle. Okay. And we do want the colors to be identical, to the UI. So let's go to the UI in the game. So let's open up the UI document just so we get the exact colors. Color is very, very important for a variety of reasons, but one of the main things you need to do with color is be sure you're using the exact same colors over and over and over again to unify the brand. Okay, unify the brand of your game. So in this case, instead of just picking some random sort of pale color, I'm going to pick the exact color of all the other UI elements. Okay, so if I just zoom in here, this is the color. Okay, sort of this fleshy color. I'm going to take it, and we're going to make sure that that color is set to our text. And again, this is going to be live text inside of Unity. But for now, I'm going to put it right here inside of Photoshop. Zeppelin. I get these. I appreciate the comment. I really do, but I get these all the time. Did you give up on Father? Father was like, oh my word, like 2 years ago. And this is Father. We just changed everything. Options. And then quit. All right. So let's go ahead and blur this back. I mean, that's fine. So this is option 1. I'm gonna make sure that's saved though, and then I'm gonna blur this significantly, like that, and then scale it up because I need the general colors that we're gonna see throughout the game. That looks great, and honestly, I think we should keep the logo as is. I don't know if it needs to be a flat color because it's so pretty, you know. The question then becomes, okay, does the options menu allow us to create gradients? Because we might want to do a gradient on all of our text. So let's double check here. If I go to pause menu here and type in pause menu, the question is, are we using TextMesh Pro? Right? By the way, those of you just joining us, just remember you've got 14 hours or 18 hours left to join YouTube Game Dev Below. So be sure to check out YouTube Game Dev Below, get 40% off. And this will for real close. And I'm not sure when we open up YouTube Game Dev again. It could be 3 or 4 months. So be sure to check that out below. It teaches you how to do, well, YouTube with Game Dev and make money doing it. Okay, so let's open up our pause menu here and take a look at our text. And it is currently TextMesh Pro. Goody. So I think we're going to be okay creating gradients. And the reason I say that is because I think gradients will be very pretty to use for these menus because they don't really match this. Or I'm sorry, currently this doesn't really match this. Also, this is going to have a nice drop shadow. Kind of like that. Okay. So there is our logo. And we're going to go ahead and just add a gradient overlay. And we kind of need to use a global gradient. So what I'm going to go to is our FPS controller. Inside of our FPS controller, some of the text is gradient, but it might not be. Ah, yes. So we're using this peach color here, and nothing has a gradient. So I feel like it would be wrong of us to suddenly add in gradients randomly. We're trying to be very, very consistent. If you can learn to be consistent, well, I think you can master game dev because consistency, especially when it comes to like the emotional side of making games, but also just when it comes to your design, to your brand, the mechanics of the game, the way you tell the story, the music, consistency. People really appreciate consistency. This is true for everything. We all love consistency in our products. We also love consistency in relationships. When I'm hanging out with somebody, or let's say you're dating somebody, or you're married, or it's your children, you like them to be consistent because they're predictable and you know what to expect. It's really, really difficult to be a friend with somebody, especially somebody like me, I'll be honest, who you never really know what you're going to get, right? The same is true with your game. So with our colors, with the font sizes, the font choices, everything needs to be consistent, okay? Thomas, did you consider something like skeuomorphic for the menu? For example, menu options with a hotel directory. That's a great idea. That's a really good idea, but we are not in a hotel necessarily. That's part of the game, but we're also in a theme park. So I want the pause menu. Okay, let's do this. Let's do a little testing here, guys. For the pause menu, Do we think, you know what we should do? Man, this kind of stinks. We should really be working on the main menu as opposed to the pause menu. We should start with the parent and then work on the child later. The king, the linchpin of the menus is the home menu. So guys, let's go ahead and brainstorm. We've got a very generic idea here. Text. We got a logo and then we got text. Okay. Let's think of this through. I'm going to grab a screenshot here of the exterior. And we're going to brainstorm together, and you guys are going to help me figure out what would be a cool skeuomorphic idea for the main menu. Again, like a hotel directory. Now, one of our big inspirations is Alice Madness Returns. Alice Madness Returns doesn't really have a thematic menu, actually. You really just look at Alice, and she's just sort of standing there like this. That's it. And she's like kind of holding a knife. It's very clean. It's very simple. So there's not a lot of theming when it comes to the menu, but we could take a look. Thalys just joined YouTube Game Dev. That's awesome, Thalys. Thank you so much. And obviously, it supports the channel. It means a lot. I hope it supports you, seriously. If it doesn't, 30-day money-back guarantee, no big deal. Just let me know if it doesn't work for you. But I really do believe in that course because, well, I just teach what I know and what I've learned. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab a really cool screenshot here, guys, of the tower. The problem with the tower is if we look too high up, it's just blue. We kind of have to go really low and capture some of those reds. And that's a challenge, you know. Let's see here. Maybe the dock. The dock was important here. We could do something like this for the main menu, but I'm gonna paste this in there just to give us an idea. But it's not my favorite visual, and the problem here is that it's difficult to make it centered. Yeah, it doesn't look pretty, does it? I'd much rather have a visual of Charlotte or Tiny standing there. But the problem is this is sort of a central logo. You can't quite position it over here. So I feel like we do need to have some centrality. So what we could do is maybe position, and what we'll do is we'll have a camera here and it'll be pointed up like this. It's just really difficult to capture those oranges when you look into it or look up at it. So I think what we might do, let's kill that for now. What we might do is I'm going to see if we can go about adding some orange just for this screenshot. And the way we're going to do that is go to our skybox here. And I'm going to go to the, oh crap, this is going to take forever. Man, gosh, I don't like how blue it all is. We need some orange. We might be able to do something like this. It's just so effing foggy. Ugh. It looks great in play mode. It's just getting the perfect shot like this is difficult. We may actually do something like this. This might work, you know, like that. And then see if that logo can sort of wrap around it, almost like Disney World. You know? That might work. It just needs orange, you know? It needs orange at the bottom. That's the only way this is going to work. So what we're going to probably end up doing, but I also want to see Tiny. You know, I want Tiny to be standing there, like on the left side here. And Charlotte's standing on the right side. So that's the trouble here. I can't quite figure out what I want. And then there's also the question of, do we theme this, right? So let's talk about theming. What kind of themes can we come up with? Do we want to use cards, right? Do we want to use tickets? If guys think about Disney World, think about Main Street USA and Disney World, think about the Tower of Terror. You know, what could we do here? Do we even show the tower in the backdrop? Or instead, do we have a beautiful sort of, I don't know, I'm burping here. I don't know, maybe we could do like wallpaper on the background, or the lobby, the hotel lobby, and Tiny's like standing there holding a gun, you know? We could do that. This feels silly to me. We've got to have some orange. We've got to have some orange. Otherwise, it just doesn't work. Do you guys have any ideas? Seriously, I would love to hear them. A directory? No. Nameplates? Tower in the BG goes hard. I don't know if it does, though. Something feels off. No, I don't want to cycle through multiple scenes. I really don't, because, well, we just don't have the time to build all that out. If we go to floor 0, let me show you floor 0. A vintage phone sitting in the lobby near the phone on an orange paper pad. Yeah, I love the idea of focusing on an object. That's the current menu. The current menu focuses on an object. But like what I'm thinking is this feels way better to me. It's just a prettier visual. Anders Edge, linear story games are a risky bet. 100% they are. But if they are your forte, there's nothing else I can say. You know, it's just how it. And if it's what you love, I can't stop you. And that's the same is true with this game. This game is kind of linear, and it's kind of, well, it's very much a story game. So I don't know what else to say. You know, it's like, that's just how it goes. The pink is beautiful, but it's not going to work for this game. So we're gonna kill the pink and just make it that red. That feels a lot better, guys. I do love the idea of Tiny standing there holding a gun. But you know, I don't think it matters right now. I think we need to just get the UI down. Now the question is, do we make the UI look like, you know, Disney tickets or something? But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to darken this, because in our game, what we might end up doing is darkening it like this. It has to be perfectly centered. I don't see a way around it, you know? Okay. I kind of feel like if we did cards, it would be a real pain in the butt. So we're not going to do cards. The problem with centered text is if it scales too wide, yeah, we can't. We have to do left aligned for the budget's sake. Seriously. So we have to do left aligned. So the question is, how do we make it look pretty left aligned? You know? Oh, it frustrates me. I don't know exactly how we do that, guys. But we could do something like this. The reason why is because I want little symbols on the left and right side when you select. And gosh, is it worth it? Thomas, search vintage Disney ticket stubs. Okay. Let's take a look here and see what we got. I just don't want to have to scale all this, you know. Oh, those are so cool, though. Remember what I said, guys, last week? I said, don't be afraid to take the time. Don't be afraid to take the time to not make any progress, but rather just learn and look and study. Man, arching this text is brutal. I think we can probably balance this out with some sort of flourish on the right side. Guys, I'm struggling to theme this because if we make it skeuomorphic, we have to make. And by the way, skeuomorphic means it looks real. So it's like you put a ticket icon behind the text. The problem is when you localize it and you change out the languages, it has to scale with the text. And I don't know if I want to deal with that, you know? Yeah, so if Tiny's standing there, sure, with a gun, it might balance it out. That's a good idea, right? So we could see about we could put Charlotte there for now. So let's put Charlotte there. Where is she? Okay, let's have her standing. Okay, and we could screenshot her and put her in there. All right. So let's try that. Do I have a stand animation for her? She has a sitting animation. There she goes. She's got a standing one here. Because we can at least put her in there for now as just a standing, because Tiny's not done yet. All right, let's see if she's gonna do the proper stance. There she is, but her eyes are wacko. What's going on? Wait, what? Okay, she's standing, but man, her eyes are whack. No, that's right. I just finished them. I just finished this. Oh, it's looking at the controller now. We don't want that. Let's look at the target. There we go. All right. Goody. So let's move our target down. And her head isn't following either because... Yeah. Okay, so her head isn't following either because she's pointed at the player. So we're going to make sure we drag in the target here. There we go. And then her spine. Her other spine. There we go. And that way, we can move this around and she should follow it. I don't know why her spine isn't doing it. We just want a good screenshot here of her looking down like this. Whoa. There we go. Let's disable that. Goody. Her eyes are super dark. So let's go to our light source here. And I think it's currently set to static. No, it's not static. Well, it might be actually. Let's take a look. Yeah, it is. So we're going to bring it down so that we get a little bit more of a 3-point light on her. Yeah, like this. Just like this. Miss Charlotte. It's a little intense. Yeah, I love the idea of her standing there. That would be kind of cool. Sorry, I just don't want to pull away from the screen here. All right, and then we'll cut her out and then blur it. Maybe pull that look at target so that she's not so strange looking. There we go. All right. Mrs. Charlotte, are you ready to get a screenshot? All right, let's grab a screenshot here. And again, this is just for the purposes of creating the menu to see if it would look cool with a character sort of standing there. And Tiny, I think he's going to have his shotgun and he's going to be staring straight at the camera. Full on Gordon Freeman style, right? Okay, we'll just rotate like this. And then we'll cut her out from the background. And I kind of feel like I want to do a spiral in the back behind the characters. And so that's probably what we're going to end up doing here. Backgrounds are really important here. Look, watch. If we add a little bit of a blur here, the lighting will look correct. That's the theory. It's almost like creating a thumbnail for like a YouTube video. And that reminds me, check out YouTube Game Dev below if you're interested in learning about YouTube. I feel like she needs to be much larger. Man, guys, I'm struggling with this here. It's a little vibrant looking. But it has the problem here is it really needs to be left aligned. That's the struggle. Okay, so what's our main menu look like, right? Why is it, wait. Why are you so vibrant? Let's at least try and bring down the vibrancy. Yeah. And then maybe we could do the same here. Brightness, strip it down, yeah. Alrighty. How did you cut it from the background? What tool is that? That's like I think it's called the magic. It's called the object selection tool. All right, let's fix her hair. It's a little warm. It's a little warm. So I feel like we need to cool it down with like a hue shift in the background. And what we'll probably end up doing is creating a scene where we pick a character, whether it's Charlotte or Tiny, and we throw a blue light in the background on the left side, and then turn on a high intensity bokeh in the post processing. But right now, do you guys see why it's so much easier to do it with Photoshop as opposed to just guessing and checking inside of Unity? That's kind of cool. All right. Okay, calm down, Doom Silver. Calm down. We got to make the logo smaller. You think so, huh? Maybe. Yeah, you might be right, actually. I think that looks kind of cool. Yeah, that does look weird. Let's fix it. Charlotte, do you mind if I rasterize you? There we go. And let's fix it. We still got some weight painting to do. But yeah, you're right. It did look it did look really weird, didn't it? Did that hurt, Charlotte? I'm sorry. Well, we're not going to worry about her angle right now. Guys, I kind of feel like this needs to be solid color. You know what I mean? I feel like that looks way better. I'm cool with it looking really vibrant in the marketing material and skeuomorphic, but this right here feels a lot better. Let's reduce some of the red, or I'm sorry, the yellow. Let's go to the yellow here and see if we can drop the saturation down. Yeah. That looks way better, eh? All right. Y'all are silly. All right, let's go to our yellows here. Maybe we can cool them? No. Well, we could, yeah. But I think they just need to match this color here. Yeah. And then crank up that contrast. Brightness. Actually, drop the contrast, increase the brightness. And we'll obviously, it's all going to be 3D, but this is generally the idea we want for Mrs. Charlotte. I think the red from the blood evens out the balance of the whole image since she's wearing red gloves. Yeah, maybe. But what we're going to do is we're going to make the highlight that red. So let's just, I'll show you what I mean here. This red here is officially the red from the game. So that's our official red. So if this is our selection, golly, it does not look good in this context. I think I'm going to make a call here, guys. I think that red is not working for me. We need to do something like this. That's really what I want. Now, something we could do here is actually sort of left align the text like this. It feels more balanced for some reason. What if the female character is moving in the menu screen? Yeah, it can be Charlotte or it can be Tiny. Tiny's going to be standing there with his gun. And maybe Charlotte will be like this. She'll look around, look back at the menu. I'd love if she looked at the selection. That would be so cool. But the reason why you guys are getting a special reveal, so Charlotte, I don't feel the player should see Charlotte until the very end of the game. So, you know, I don't even think it makes sense for her to be in the menu. Okay, let's see it in the context of our game. Okay, so let's go to play mode here. This is the game. It's really important to look at your game while you're doing your UI and kind of remember, okay, this is my color scheme. This is how the game looks. Okay, so it's not matching. Let's grab this and see if we can fix it up. It's that purple. Yeah, it's the purple. Yeah. Yeah. It has to be left aligned because I want flourishes on the left side and the right side so that when you select it, but the problem is that has to scale when you localize. So that's the big issue here. I feel like this color scheme for the backdrop, I feel like we need to go and find a good spot here. So the light's coming from the left side. So what I'm going to do is find, let's actually go back in time here so the light is more broad. Good. And maybe let's do this. See if we can grab this here. All right. And we're going to paste that in there. Come on. Paste it in there. Yeah. Okay. That might actually work for us, guys. And again, she'll be 3D standing there. So far, so good. It's super duper warm. So what we're going to do is try and cool it down. That could definitely just be a... What color could this be? And this is totally fine to do because in UI you can throw on just some subtle overlays and vignettes. You could maybe try this. There's just a lot of different options. You do this little brown color. We try the red. Let's make it super subtle. Now that just makes it warm. Let's try a greenish color. That feels good. Very subtle. Yeah, that's great, guys. Again, please, I hope you, and I had to resist the temptation when I started this live stream. I had to resist the temptation to just say, you know what, let's just do it in game and just do it right away and do it quickly, right? I'm going to do it quickly. The problem is this is actually faster because you can try and iterate all day long in Photoshop, or I'm sorry, in Unity, and then you finally put everything together and you hate it, and then you have to iterate again and again. It takes forever in Unity. Whereas now it doesn't take forever at all. Sorry, old Jebby's having a fit downstairs. Okay, let's fill this in. I just don't want that in there, so I'm just going to pull this down. There we go. Okay. All right, Charlotte, how do you feel? You like it? Good, Charlotte likes it. Okay, let's go ahead and save it. And let's make some tweaks here. Make it the color of her eyes. Cool. Yeah, ornament selection 100%. So this is going to be called menu concept. Okay. She's going to be standing there. It would be pretty cool if she followed the text with her eyes. I'm not going to lie. I would really, really want to do that. I think I might get Gordon to do that. Cyber Shell says the girl looks scared of the place. Yeah. Yeah, you think? It's a pretty violent tower. Okay, so let's go to our main menu and take a look. Okay, so this is what we have. It's always good to compare it to what you have and go, okay, are we actually making progress here? Because sometimes I'll look at my previous designs and I'm like, why did I change that? The problem with this menu is it doesn't match the story anymore. There's no reason to see this radio, to see this toy. None of it matters. But this is the music that'll be playing, by the way. One sec. So let's listen and take a look here. So I like the more vignetted, blurry feel here. So that's definitely something to do here. You could even blur the edges just a little bit. And I kind of, guys, I think I figured it out. It's not that we need an actual her to be in the tower. We can just throw in a screenshot behind her like this. That looks a little cheap. That looks like 2009. That's good enough. What if we added a spiral behind her? You know? Zamar says it's 11 p.m. Please stop the music. Menus are so important, guys. They are so important. Play, options, and quit. We're also going to have it credits because I want my team to feel like their hard work is shown to the world. I'm a good person, aren't I? I kind of feel like it would be cool if it scaled up. Isn't that good music? I'm proud of this song. I think it's really good. Yeah, it's a good song. All right. So that's the ideal. The ideal is it scales up. Scales up. Now, let's go ahead and find a flourish. Wouldn't that be cool? Galaxy Boy, that would be cool. We definitely need a flourish behind her. Or like behind the logo maybe. Something like this. We got to do everything we can to ensure that we capture that fantasy vibe. Or that fairy tale vibe. Because remember, the main menu can do what your budget can't, right? So if your budget doesn't allow for you to create some crazy graphics that feel super Victorian, well, you can do it with your UI, and people will sort of, their brains will subconsciously spread that to the rest of the game. Yeah, that'd be cool if she followed the cursor with her eyes. So first things first, let's just make this color, and then we'll also add that green to it. Look, we're adding that subconscious flair, guys. Just so the player has an idea that this game is a fairy tale. There's something so haunting about this visual of Charlotte. It's really something really important about her face. I really like it. And that's Bryneth. I've tagged him on Twitter. You can go find him. He does some incredible models. So he and I work together to get Charlotte looking the way she does. Yeah, this swirl's cool, but it's kind of causing some problems. I kind of feel like we need to throw in that Willy Wonka vibe, so let's throw in some spiral, see what we get. Yeah, the facial expression is really scary. Why am I writing spatial? What am I doing? Spiral. Jeez, I'm crow. Isn't game dev fun? It's the greatest job ever. I love this job. I have so much fun every day. Ugh, excuse me, I'm burping again. Roaring Jelly Baby says, I just want to tell you I like what you do. Okay. So let's go ahead and insert this spiral. Every game I've made has spirals. You just throw them in, right? We're going to keep this song playing one more time. Ooh, hey, what's going on here, baby? We could definitely consider something like a flat background. One sec, guys. And this spiral occurs. That feels super Tim Burton. And I am tempted to make this work, guys. Oh no, we're definitely going to animate the spiral. But it doesn't need to be that intense. So that's option 2. Then what you can do is potentially throw this over top. I think this kind of feels a little bit too like it's a fun Fortnite game. And I don't know if that's what we want to do. Can we add a spiral to the Twisted Tower logo? That's a question, right? There's a lot of places that you could potentially add this spiral. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it either. I'd prefer this. Maybe we can do... We need to throw on some different music now. Let's throw on an additional soundtrack. What do we also have? We also have chapter 1 something. Oh my goodness, floor 1. This is it. Yeah, this is good. Let's turn this on. Yeah, it looks like the old Sims. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree with you about that. Furious Fervor. All right, let's go with this orange red. And then throw on that spiral. You know, it might be cool. What instrument was used for that song? That was a cello. It's really, really hard. I'm patting myself on the back here. It's really hard to get a cello to sound real in what's it called? Logic Pro. This might have to be a white spiral. Yep, it's okay to take your time, guys. One other option is to cut out where the spiral is. That's another option. Elian Game Dev says, I'm a beginner cellist and it's really hard in real life too. Yeah, I'm sure it's much harder, obviously. Okay, the spiral's not going to work on the logo. And in fact, I think the logo needs to remain that peach color. Yeah, it looks better with peach because there's so much red. Is there a place to put the spiral, eh? Is there a place to put the spiral? Yep, that's right. Inner's Edge, don't stress, you know. Don't worry if you're not making progress on your game, but you keep pushing. If you find yourself changing stuff all the time, that's kind of a red flag. But if you're just sort of sitting and like thinking and putting together concepts and concepts and concepts, I think that's a really good sign. Yeah. Okay, any other spirals we could put in this document here? No, the character definitely doesn't have metallics. The character, she's using a toon shader. There's no metallics in her. She needs a toon shader though, because it really makes her her eyes pop and her hair pop. Sorry, I'm just looking for a spiral here. The other option could be put this like this here and then cut out and do black. Guys, I wish we could use a spiral. Where do we put it? Yeah, we can make it spin. That's no problem. Hang on. Harry. So watch this. That needs to be the cutout. Select inverse, cut. No, Thomas. The other one. Select, inverse, cut. No, that's what we just had. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, you like the new music? No Name, that's great. Okay, we could try that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You put the spiral over top of this. Yeah. Spirals are so valuable. What about in between the R in the tower and beside the character's head? No, because then that'll feel like it's a logo, and it's not a logo. It's a flourish. Yeah. So you guys are saying maybe just do this? Guys, I don't know. Well, let's shift gears here a little bit and go to arrow flourish. See if we could find like a Victorian arrow maybe. Okay, let's type in flourish. So we don't really have any Art Deco flourishes here, but she's dressed Art Deco to the nines, as will Tiny, so I'm not sure we need to worry about doing any Art Deco. By the way, we're using a era called Art Nouveau, and Art Nouveau is Art Deco mixed with like Victorian. Taking our time, right, guys? Make the mouse cursor a spiral. No, the spiral, it has to be big. It needs to feel like you're going down a Alfred Hitchcock poster. Let's look for the arrow flourish, okay? That could work. Maybe. Okay. All right, so there's that song. Do we have... Let's see if we have another one. Oh yeah, we have this one as well. Yeah, the music was a long time coming, trying to figure out exactly what the vibe should be. Because you're looking for Art Deco, you're looking for fantasy, you're looking for Disney. So it was hard to figure out exactly what it could be. Let's keep looking for flourishes. I don't really like those. So close, guys. Ah, we found some. We really need an arrow. It needs to look like kind of like an arrow. What's this one? So close. We could try that. We can only have it on the left side, sadly. And it would need to nudge over like this. So that's a good question, you know, do we really want to deal with the code of this? Because there's so many things to do. My theory is yes, assuming the prefabs are all set up properly. Let's just assume that we can create this animation. I really like it. So when you hover over, it's going to go whoosh, 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 whoosh. And you gotta do it fast. You gotta do it fast, guys. There are so many of you who, when you create UI animations or any animations in your game in general, sorry if that scared you, any animations in general, you want to do it slow. It's not Dark Souls, guys. Fast, right? You don't want it to feel heavy. All right. Good. Clue meets Twilight Zone meets Haunted Mansion. That's great. That's exactly what we're after. If I had to pick between a lerp, like, or an instantaneous non-lerp, I'd choose the any day. Flourish. Corner. Let's grab them one of them corner flourishes. Hey, what you think about this one, eh? What? It does look like someone's standing there. Okay, guys, let's grab a sort of peach color here. And we're just going to do a nice little fade. Look at what just happened. Depth and layers. So we're going to put this behind Charlotte. Yes, it will be a challenge in the game, but we're going to do it. Guys, I really feel like, you know, we could have gone skeuomorphic with this thing, but I think that's it. I think that's the first step. Anybody have any major concerns with this? Any major concerns? Hey, Hector. Guys, Hector did a lot of the sound effects for this song. So the way it worked was I wrote the music, and then Hector came in and added the thunder and the cool sound effects and the creepy, old public domain cartoon sounds. So let's say hello to Hector. All right, so there's our version. Goody. Okay, I think this is definitely where we want to be with the main menu. Decrease the size of the corner. Why? What's everybody's problem with the corner? You think this is too small? Gosh, you guys are so whiny. Fine. Yeah, I think you're right. Cool. I'm just messing around, guys. I think you guys are definitely right about some particles. You know, what if we did something like this? Would be so cool. Go full on Hollow Knight style. Maybe a little bit bigger. That is cool. That really does look good, actually. Gareth, this is already functional. Gareth, we've already got this functional in-game. We just have to position the new art. But everything works. We just have to throw in the new fonts, throw in the new logo, throw in the camera shot of one of the main characters standing there. So yeah. Dust is too bright. Okay. Drop it down a little bit. Awesome. Doomed Silver says the menu doesn't affect the gameplay or the story. I don't agree. The main menu informs, it is the doorway into your home. It is the cover to your book. So you've got to make sure it communicates exactly what the game is, or the player will be confused as to what they're doing or what world they're in. So this to me communicates exactly the kind of game we're going to play. Not going to be, this doesn't need to be scary necessarily. I would say, okay, if you want it to be scary, let's start with this. This is sort of the final little step we need to do here, okay? I agree with you. We could definitely add in some scariness. So we will do that. Hey Thomas, I've been in your course and Discord for about a month, and I've met some amazing people who helped me figure out my strengths. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Wow, KJ, you didn't need to do that. Thank you so much. And you have no idea how important and how much it means to me when you do say you like my courses. Because, you know, when people sell courses on YouTube, it never sounds good. You kind of sound like a sleaze bag. So I always feel kind of guilty about it. But I also know my students love my courses, so it's like, okay, well, people seem to be learning. So just keep going. But yeah, we're gonna throw in some of this right here. This is probably you guys ever seen guys, I want to show you a trick. Watch this. Blood splatter when blurred. Wait, it doesn't look real. Hang on. And then you select it and then kill it. Let's rasterize it. You select the outside portion and kill it. Come on, Thomas. What's going on, buddy? Yeah. That should work. Oh, let's change our tolerance to like 2. Yeah. Select inverse. Delete. Close. Hang on. Let's do 15. Okay, watch this. Nope. We'll do 6. Yeah. Invert. Kill. Why? Come on, dude. I was so excited to show you guys. It's not working, though. Let's do 2. Yeah. Okay. Select. This is going to look great. Inverse. Delete. So generally speaking, it looks good. It's not really working right now. So never mind. I was wrong. Let's try this out. Maybe we need to make it darker. This is great. This feels like that. There's a movie where there's a woman who kills her husband. It's an old movie. I've talked about it before on previous live streams. And then we'll just do this here. But guys, this is definitely the general vibe here we want. Charlotte's sort of covered in blood. Just shocked. Terrified. And like I've done in previous posts, always with my games, we add a little bit of tears coming out of her eyes, obviously. When in doubt, do a motion blur. That's great. We could probably vignette it a little bit in the background, so we're going to do a little bit of a vignette. Hang tight, y'all. Oh, I smell dinner. My wife is making something tasty. All right. Yeah, it feels a little bit less Sims now, doesn't it? Yeah. What do we think? Do we like this or this? I kind of want to just maybe meet in the middle. Where did I learn how to use Photoshop? University? A course? Neither. I just started learning. I just got obsessed with creating stuff. I always wanted to make stuff. And so I just been using Photoshop since I was 14. All right. So that's it, man. I think that's pretty cool. Somewhere in dreamland. Ba-dum. Check out YouTube Game Dev below. By the way, if you're a student of YouTube Game Dev or full-time Game Dev, let us know what you think about the programs in the chat. This course is closing in 17 hours, and it's 40% off, and you're going to get some other free courses as well. Guys, this is a cool course because it teaches you how to, well, it's taught by somebody who's actually doing it, and that is me. So I actually teach how to create a YouTube channel and how to take sponsorships, how to launch your own products, how to get wish lists, what kind of ad revenue to expect, and how to increase your revenue overall, how to target the game dev market so that you're actually capturing wish lists for your games, and building a massive audience, just like you guys, building a massive audience that'll stick with you through all of your projects. The cool thing about a YouTube channel is it's sort of it's kind of like this safe haven where you can always create your games and just slowly build up that audience. If there's one thing that I would pick, if somebody said, hey, Thomas, I'm going to give you, $1 million or 100,000 subscribers. 100,000 subscribers any day of the week, as long as it's actually converting to views. It's so important, so valuable, and so helpful. So be sure to check it out below, guys. Oh, thank you, Input Brick. Hey, I love your stuff. I've started game dev on the side of my daily streaming that I do full time. What advice do you have for what to prioritize? Oh, man. That's a long question. I don't know if I can answer that because I'm already late. Let me look at my watch. Oh. I'm sorry. I don't know if I can answer that. I'm already late. I usually go downstairs at 5:30. All right. I love you guys so much. Thanks for hanging out. I will talk to you later. Cheers. Oh, by the way, let's do an outro. Get over here. Get down. Hey, thanks for watching. By the way, if you haven't downloaded that free 2D game kit below, click below. It's my treat to you. I used this game kit to make a game for PewDiePie in 14 days, and I actually got to play it with him in front of his audience, which was really cool. This game kit is totally free. It's my treat to you, and you can use it however you want. You can make a commercial game and make $1 million off this game kit. I don't care. Or you could just use it for a hobby project. It's my treat to you. And by the way, if you haven't clicked like, that would mean a ton to me. Hit subscribe. And also, this is important, hit that notification bell. Here's why. If you get notified of when I'm live, you can watch me make my next game. And let me know in the chat what you think about the game or any ideas you have, and you might just show up. Your chat might just show up in the next video that I upload. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye.